Hi, I'm not your average Joseph, and this is Use It Music, where we review, interview, discuss products, and dive into the creation of music. Today, what we're going to look at is a program called RipX by Hit and Mix. Originally, this was designed for DJs who wanted to remix music. And what was amazing about this is that it would take a stereo file and allow you to break it down into individual components that you can then later on remix. And when I say individual components, I mean like separate drums, vocals, and instrumentation, which is, if you ask me, is kind of dope. So anyway, I decided to give it a spin. Of course, I'm not DJing as much as I used to, but I'm heavily into production. One of the groups that I produce for is called Usual Suspects. I got on the T, and they're a boom bap hip hop group focusing mainly on the 90s style of music. So heavy with sampling and then nice drums on top of it, right? With that being said, sometimes when I use samples, there's elements in there I wish that I could do without or I could remove. Now, it's a possibility, right? So I'm gonna show you how we get down, or how we're about to get down with this new software. Well, it's not really new, but new to me, RipX. Okay, so song I'm gonna sample from is, we're gonna give the credit where credit is due because we don't want no strikes on our YouTube channel. Song I'm gonna start with is Ed Watson and Lord Kitchener in Disco, Just a Little Bit, released on the Charlie Records, right? So I would say this is a calypso meets disco type of record. So it's got a nice feel to it, but far from hip hop as we'd probably want it, right? So let's see what we can do with it. All right. So let's get it recorded. Okay, so that's about all I need. I probably don't even need all of that, but just for demonstration's sakes, I'll take as much as I possibly can, and then we'll get to it, all right? So let's look at RipX. So here it is, just regular interface. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the audio what I sampled from earlier. And let me just bring me up in the scene here so we can see what I look like. I'm going to just take the file, and then I'm gonna just drop it right on the desktop, right on the program interface. Now, right away, it brings up a menu, what to rip. Now, it's got voice, other sounds and instruments, separate guitar and piano, bass, drums, and percussions. It also allows you to save these separate as stems for your DAW or your DJing type gig, right? So let's go ahead and rip it. So as this is ripping, this is going to take about 3 minutes, but as it's ripping, I'm going to just explain to you exactly what is happening. So what it's looking at right now is the algorithms is looking into the stereo file and seeing, and I believe it's doing it by frequency, right? So we know that certain instruments are sitting into certain frequencies, and the AI is saying, okay, this set of frequencies belongs to the vocals. This next set of frequencies belongs to like maybe a guitar or a piano or a bass. And then this set of frequencies is sitting somewhere in, let's say, percussions. Now, how it's doing its magic in the background, I don't know. Is it 100% perfect? Maybe not, but let's see how close that we can possibly get it, right? So again, we'll give it some time. It's ripping as we speak. And I just like to take this time to shout out our sponsors, Plugins Canada, one of those spots in Canada where you can get your latest plugins for your DAW or just your regular electronic equipment. And check it out, www.pluginscanada.com. So it's ripping. I think we're almost there. We're almost there now. So let me just jump over to this side here. Wrapping up, it says we got about a minute left. So I'll probably just cut out some of this just to speed up the process and we can see what's going on, right? Okay. We are almost there. Cool, so now it's ripped. I'm going to click on, you see, it's created a folder. Just a little bit is what the sample was named, is created a folder. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the folder. But before I click on the folder, rips here shows you all the stuff that I've already just been ripping since I got the program. But let's click on the folder. Now, if you notice, this is the stereo file and it's exploded all over these keys right here. What we're looking at is the instrumentation, vocals, and bass line and drums separated, right? So let's play this back just to see it. Okay, so now here's where the fun begins. Right here where we see layers, as you can see, it's been broken down into some individual parts. So we have vocals. If I click on the vocals, you can see right here, this section here, this is vocals. It's represented by the color of yellow. We have yellow over here, represented by the color of yellow over here. If I solo this right here, and let's play. Oh, just a little bit. Wow, wow. Let me unsolo that here. Let's look at the bass line. Solo that. Oh, well, there's no bass line sitting in this section here. Let me maybe move it up a bit. Here it is right here. That's clean. That's clean. What about the percussions? Drums? Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I'm gonna bounce it back a little bit. Let's see now. Jump back to the start. Now, actually, that is what I want. I want the sample without the drums, but before I get into the actual production of what I'm doing, let me just show you some more of this right now. So if I click on, let's see, what do I have now? Let's go by strings. I don't think it's really strings that it's captured. It's more like a guitar. So, oh, I muted that. Let me solo it. So I have the guitar. Bass. So now within the bass, well, let's actually look at the vocals. You have the option of making the stereo wide or making it mono. So this is stereo, shows you, so slide down here, to the left, slide here, to the right. So I can make it left or right mono. I can take out the lows or increase the lows. Same thing with the mids and with the highs. So once again, let's play the sample from top. Okay, so right under the layers, we got input, right? Let me just click on my keyboard from here. Draw this out. Now say bass input. That's actually playing notes from the bass that was sampled. If I go to strings, string input. So I can pretty much play like the individual tracks. Here's the guitar. So that's just to show you that the capabilities of what happens once you start getting into this and actually ripping the music, right? But that's not all. There's like a whole bunch of features. It's like this thing is crazy. Over to the left-hand side, left-hand side, we see pitch, and that's selected for the new guitar. Scale, pitch to scale, quantize, flatten pitch, vibrato, expand, invert pitch, slide. So this is all that we can do with what I have selected. I have new guitar selected, right? If I just go back to the layers here and choose a piano section, can you see right now it's changed the piano? Let's go to vocals. And I'm gonna solo the vocals real quick, so you can see what I'm saying here. And I'm gonna create a loop section. As you see, I have it right up top here. See what the arrow is? I'm gonna actually, let me just shrink this a bit. See the arrow is? I'm gonna create a loop section right here because we just want to hear this section here of the vocals. So as I put my mouse over the function that I want to control, you see it actually changes the sound. So I can audition without committing. Flatten the pitch. Super vibrato. Yeah, so that's crazy if you ask me. Like that's insane, the amount of control that you have over the individual parts once you get into the creation mode. So I'm basically gonna jump out of this. I've already got my parts what I wanted to use exported. So let's go ahead and create a beat. So like I was saying before, I did not need the percussion, the drums, none of that. All I really wanted was the instrumentation and possibly the vocals. So what I did was I actually did 3 exports. One where I had just the strings, guitars, and I guess, I don't know, I'm thinking there was like some sort of piano in there first. And then I exported it again, this time with the bass. And then I exported it a 3rd time, but this time I just the vocals alone, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's just the sample without the bass. Oh, by the way, I did pitch it down. So here we go. All right, so that's without the bass. Let me just find the sample with the bass so you can hear. And then finally, let's play the vocals. What you can't tell there is that I actually added in some harmony sections in the vocals, and I did that from in the RipX software. I should have showed you that part, but I'm new to this. So let me get this started and show you exactly what I mean as far as putting the beat together, right? So I got that stuff all set. Now I'm gonna just show you what I'm doing. Let me jump real back to the MPC, right? So basically what I did was I chopped up the actual sample itself, right? So let's play it back. But I didn't want that pattern. That pattern was just, it's just more of the same thing. So I didn't want that pattern, right? So I kind of went with a different pattern, and the pattern went like this. Right? So let's hear what it sounds like. Here's the main sample. Right. Okay. So that was it. Now, the only thing I did further from that was added my drum pattern. Nothing like the drums that was there originally, right? And then I played a bass line over it as well. So here's the bass line on top of the small bass that was there in the sample. So put it all together, I came up with this. And that's just to go and show you the power of the software itself. I took out the drums totally, pitched down the sample, separated the vocals, made something totally new. That's it. Well, if you want to find out more about RipX, Hit and Mix, they got I think it's a 30-day demo. I'm not quite sure, but you definitely can buy it, or you definitely can try it before you buy it. But I encourage you, man. This is it's for producers. This is a handy tool to have, especially if if you're into sampling. You can do a lot more with the samples now than you could possibly do before. Is it 100% perfect in separating stuff? No. It hasn't got there yet, but I mean, from what you heard, it's pretty damn good, right? Thank you for tuning in. I am not your average Joseph. Thanks for my sponsors, Plugins Canada, and this is Use It Music.